you've been with Odoo since its early days. Can you please tell us how your journey started?
It was really interesting. Like, imagine that you are studying your master, you finish your exam, and next day you become a director of the company.
So you've seen this company grow from 10 to 1000 plus employees.
Yeah.
Like, what were the memorable moments?
Yeah, every day. So every day it's challenge because every day you learn something new. Goal for everyone is doing job is to support their family. Then trend gets changed. Like, people want to go only the company where it's like big company or like technology or something like that.
Let's talk a bit more about Odoo and its work culture.
So usually I say we are not a traditional company. So we don't have timesheet machine, we don't have complex rules, we don't have like say lot of if and buts in managing the HR rules complexity.
How do you hire people at Odoo?
Hackathon is really the great thing or like a great tool. It's like a recruit. I consider consider it as a recruitment tool actually, where you get to see people directly working for 24 hours.
Hello and welcome everyone to the second episode of Amalthea Podcast. I am Sia Kothari, your host for today, and I'm very honored to dive deep into this conversation about fintech and business solutions with our very special guest, Mr. Mantavya Gajjar, the Managing Director of Odoo India. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Hello.
So today's exciting conversation is about Odoo and how it has been a pioneer in providing business solutions since 2006. Let's hear more about it from Sir. Sir, can you please tell us more about Odoo and its objectives?
Yes. Odoo is all-in-one management software. Imagine that if you are requiring any business vertical segment solution for like any business verticals, where you need everything on a single platform, then Odoo is the perfect in that case. It has solution for like every business or vertical or segment. Like say, imagine that you are running a manufacturing company or trading company, or you are having a service company. You need a different softwares to run your business processes. Odoo is something where we have like all the business application on a single platform, and which is really good thing because everything is integrated. And like you start with one app, whenever you the way you grow the business, the solution can grow along with your scalability. So that's what we do at Odoo, like doing business management software which is simple to use, easy and affordable for any kind of business.
Okay. So before we move ahead, let's go for some icebreaker questions. First question is something that I think everyone is dying to know. What is the story behind Odoo's name?
Well, there is no story, but actually it was started with like Tiny ERP. I'm sure that most of the people they are aware about Tiny ERP or Open ERP. You have heard the name.
Yes.
So it's the same product, same company. The only thing we started with Tiny ERP, we started with like building a management software, and we would like to do a super complex things for business, for every business. So like putting everything on a single platform. That was really challenging in terms of technology, in terms of like integrating the things and so on. So we started with name called Tiny ERP in 2005 or 6 in India, and then slowly and gradually we understood like people don't like tiny software.
Right.
So we again changed the name to Open ERP. But then by understanding the market trend and other things, we identified like, okay, selling ERP project, it's not that easy, it's difficult. And like, because when you go and say people like we sell ERP, the first thing in mind like something like that say I'm not ready for ERP, or ERP it's always costly, or ERP is something like say I cannot have a budget, or I don't have a kind of people who can work on ERP software or something like that. So then we identify like one application is taking the market. It's like SaaS application. Then we realize we already have a modular approach. We already have a application like scalability and like that. So we started name, or we changed the name in 2014 called Odoo. So where each application, it's like working independently, like single application. So it's easy for us to acquire a new user just by saying that okay, you can start with website or you can start with CRM or something like that. So we started capturing a small like one app market, but at the same time we didn't miss our core things, which is doing ERP. So imagine that for manufacturing company, if you need a ERP, you just take like sales, purchase, inventory, and manufacturing app or quality app, and then you can build a ERP for manufacturing company. So that's how we say we change the name to Odoo, and Odoo actually stands for like on-demand open object.
Okay.
But there is a funny story that we internally discuss. Like we keep multiple O's to become a successful, because like say for example Google, it's successful company with lot of O's.
Double O's.
Yeah, double O's. So we have the more or less the same thing. But that's a funny story.
Okay, so from tiny ERP to Odoo,
Odoo.
like the company literally grew.
Yeah.
So, like if you weren't leading Odoo India, what career would you have gone for?
I don't know, but for sure I will be in technology, because I started with my career with tech, and like I learned technology like applications or like computer science and so on, and I don't know.
So, from childhood only, it was very clear for you that you will go into tech.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. You've been with Odoo since its early days. Can you please tell us how your journey started?
So it was really interesting. Like imagine that you are studying your master, you finish your exam, and next day you become a director of the company.
Wow.
So that was my story. uh, uh, it was like, you can say, luck or my destiny or something like that. So that's how I started working with tiny ERP. So I come to know about this company from one of the French partner. For him I started working in initial days during my internship, and that's how it was interesting for me, like say to work on open source Python or something like that. Then I started working for him for like remotely, so like offshore kind of things. And then I proposed him to our real company in India, and that's how we started a project of getting tiny ERP from desktop to online on web. And then we explained this project to Fabian, and he directly visit India just like in 2 weeks. And then without going into a detailed discussion, we started company in India with the name called Tiny ERP.
Wow, so from internship to director,
Yeah,
that is
just 2 months, and then everything changed.
that's really inspiring and something everyone dreams of. So, what are the major challenges you face in running this company?
Well, it was challenging and it was fun too, because imagine like you are a student and next day you get a huge responsibility, like you are the director but you have to work alone. So first thing first, like I'm sure that in 2006 nobody has heard about Python in India, right? That was the first challenge I started with, like I begin with. So I learned Python, I learned framework, I did everything myself in like 2 months, and then we started working on the project. But imagine being into a technical background, you don't understand business. So you do something and say I finish, and in 2 minutes someone like say no, there is still bug. Wow, it's like how you can identify in 2 minutes or like say 2 seconds that there is bug. So that was like, since then I understood like, okay, if I wanted to be master in anything, I have to understand the business. So that was the second challenge I understood, and then I started working like understanding processes, or like accounting for example, or sales, manufacturing, inventory, and so on. But technology, then understanding business. Then the third and most challenge was like how to recruit the people, because at the time you are alone, and you are growing at a speed where you need like few more people to help you, because alone you can do anything, but let's say if you want to scale, if you want to do like more offshore job or like doing more projects, then you need people. So I started recruiting by myself. So imagine that you are director of the company, but you make a HR call.
recruiting. Right.
So I'm calling from this company and you would like to schedule. So you do a HR like scheduling of interview, qualification of the CV, doing interview by yourself, recruiting people and train them. So initial days you can say that I did almost all the different types of job which is in the company by myself.
Wow. So I heard something about 5 people starting this company. Like
No.
you initially hired
So
5 people.
actually this company I was started, as I said, like offshore. It was one of the French partner. I started working with him, and then we called Fabian by doing like web client, and he get interest, and just in like 2 weeks we form a company called Tiny ERP, right? But at that time I was alone, so I started actually this company, you can say, from my bedroom. So I
Wow,
started
from
working alone
scratch.
from scratch,
Okay.
and it was a risk. Imagine that being a director, you do like 6 months of job or like 1 year of job, for example, and then you have to scrape your career. You cannot work with a CV having director as like your past experience and say I'm looking for a job of developer, but my previous job was director. So you cannot afford that. So I put lot of effort, efforts and things to make it success. And I know that if we success in like initial projects, then I am sure that we can build something build in India. So yes, I started alone, but then I recruited like one guy who was my friend. We started working together, and then when we actually form a company in India with Tiny ERP, at that time we recruit like 4 people or three employees and 10 interns. So that's how we started. Like, so that's how I believe, like, say, interns can play a big role in the development of any product company or like culture or like for long term things.
So in the same vein, like what are the major risks you've taken for Odoo India? Anything specific?
It's not something that I have taken. I have taken risk only for my career.
Okay.
But I have not, so far I didn't have that opportunity to take a risk for Odoo India actually. Specifically because, let's say, I put it that way. So I take a risk because imagine that you are director and you do everything by yourself. If something went wrong, then let's say you have to search for new job.
Right.
And maybe after a few years it's okay, but initial days it's a risk. So that was the risk I have taken, but it's set today. But as a director, let's say I have take a lot of decision for Odoo India, but I didn't find any risk in that because usually that's our culture. Whenever we do something like we want to do something new, that's always risk. But then we believe that whatever we try to do it fast. And even though it's a mistake, it's a problem, it's okay. We learn from our problem, and then because nobody is perfect. Like we always do like new things, R&D, or like testing new things or something like that.
So career-wise, the risks you took have
Yeah.
really paid off. So if your young self could see you today, what would he think? Would they be proud of what you've achieved?
Yeah, definitely they will proud of what I have done. But initially, I know that a lot of my relatives and colleagues, they always say it's what kind of job you are doing, where you have to spend like, say, even midnight you have to work. That's not the way people are doing job actually. But then today, if they see me like how I spend my day, how I spend my life, and then they understood like, okay, initial days you don't have money, but you have time. So I invested time, like lot of time. Imagine that I was working like 16 hours a day.
Wow.
So because I have to set up like everything. Imagine that everything, starting from like buying furniture to computer and like AC and everything, even working with agency to set up the office, new office and something like that. So you have to spend lot of time. It's not only product, but beside product you have to take lot of things by doing by yourself.
Okay.
So of course they are proud of me.
Definitely. So you've seen this company grow from 10 to 1,000 plus employees.
Yeah.
Like what were the memorable moments?
Yeah, every day. So every day it's challenge because every day you learn something new. Because let's say I work with like lot of generation. I started in 2006.
Hmm.
So at that time, like people were mature. The goal for everyone is doing job is to support their family.
Mhm.
Then trend gets changed. Like people want to go only the company where it's like big company or like technology or something like that. So early days, I never get a question like what's the future of Python or what's the future of like tiny ERP or company or product. But then slowly and gradually after 5 years, I started getting question. Okay, I can come to your company. So if someone we choose from like say campus for example. Usually students started asking a question like say, what's the future of Python? What's the future of this technology or like product or something like that? So I understood like the trends get changed. Helping family to like take understanding like what's the future of technology and other things. So people start thinking about, so their goal was not to earn money actually, to understand like what I'm going to do it. Today it's not about technology, it's not about helping, it's about like say what I have to do and am I get this kind of role or that kind of role, or like what is challenging profile for or what's the challenge for me or something like that. So it's clear sign that the generation change,
Yes.
the question change. Today people always want to work for like say, is there any new technology trend, like you are working on machine learning or AI or like new technology buzz or something like that, right? And people don't hesitate to switch job too quickly if they don't like the job.
So,
So
from people not knowing anything about Python and ERP to people asking you questions every day,
yeah, every day.
it must have been a very rewarding journey.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a bit more about Odoo and its work culture. Can you elaborate more on it?
So usually I say we are not a traditional company, and when I say not a traditional company means we don't have like local influence. So we don't have timesheet machine. Like no, usually I have seen in most of the IT company, without punch card you cannot in. So door is locked. After punching the card, the door is open and then you can go inside. We don't have that culture. We don't have let's say complex rules to manage the workforce like HR things or something like that. So usually I believe in like say having a open work culture, because that's what we inherit from Belgium. And usually when I visit there, I see that people are self-responsible. It's dream for me that to have the same work culture here, and that's something we succeed to achieve. Not with the small team of people, but even when we grow to like say from 1 to 1000, we try to keep the same work culture even as on today. So we don't have timesheet machine, we don't have complex rules, we don't have like say lot of if and buts in managing the HR rules complexity.
So there's a lot of freedom that your employees have.
Yes, but you know freedom is always comes with like say lot of responsibility.
Right.
And that's something we try to teach to all the Odooers, like all the Odoo employees, that you have almost all everyone as equal responsible in order to grow the company and product.
So I've heard a bit about flexible leave policy at Odoo. Like, can you shed some light on how your employees manage their work-life balance?
Yes. So usually, let's say we understood, because when we started recruitment, not from Gujarat but even outside Gujarat, so a lot of people they are coming from different states. So I understood that because imagine, let's say within a year you want to visit your family like 2 times or 3 times maybe. And those who are localite, they don't have to go often on vacation or going to family place or something like that, because they can go in weekend and like that. So we offer a flexible leave policy, like you can choose, you need 12 leaves or 24 leaves. So depending on your requirement, you can choose the number of flexible leaves. And you know the best thing, like those who opt for less leaves, they get paid bit more than others.
Okay, so they
So
get
you
paid for
can
overtime also.
you can choose between like say so it's a benefit. You need benefit in terms of like say leave or in terms of cash. And again, let's say, so either if someone going for like 12 leave or 24 leave, whatever leave you spend, that's okay, but whatever is in the balance at the end of the end of the year, it will be encashed directly.
Okay. So how do you hire people at Odoo? Recently I heard that you've stopped hiring through campus placements and hire only through hackathons. So why this change?
Yes, it's so 2024, that's a transition period.
Mm-hmm.
Might be you've seen that we did almost 6 or 7 hackathons. We started by last year, August 2024, I think, and then we understood like, okay, hackathon is really the great thing, or like a great tool. It's like a I consider consider it as a recruitment tool actually, where you get to see people directly working for 24 hours. So initially we were recruiting people by a lot of different exams and stages. So initial days we were like going lot of campus. So imagine that within Gujarat there is around like 40 colleges we were visiting, and then we started visiting even outside Gujarat also. So imagine that if you have to recruit like 100 students, you need to visit at least 60 campus. 2 people, or like say team of like 2 HR and like 4 or 6 interviewers, they spend almost like say 2 months to visit all the campus in order to get 100 people. So that was the process. So usually we start with like say coding challenge. We give them challenge for 2 hours, they do a coding, and then we review, and then those who succeed in that challenge, we bring them to logic test and English test, and then at the end of everything we do 4 hours of interview round. So imagine that for students it was more or less like 8 hours of interview time. But at our side, imagine that how much time we have to spend in order to do this kind of things. So I understood that if you really want to grow fast, or if you really want to have best people from the country, then recruitment, doing like say visiting campus, or like doing face-to-face interview at office, it's slower process. It's really slow. We did hackathon in 2024 August, and we get a really good result, because first time we organized hackathon in India, and we get like 3,000 registration.
Wow.
So it was just first and 3,000 registrations. So it was surprise for us. Then we get really good talent from like first round and second round of interview. Then we started understood like, okay, let's do a hackathon with colleges. So every college, like the best college in the country and like state, we started collaborating with them, and then we did hackathon with them, and the result was amazing. Imagine that you have a possibility to call like 3,000 people. First round you filter, which is get the best one, like 400 best from 3,000. We call all 400 students to either campus or company or somewhere, and we do the second round, and where we work with them for like 24 hours. So 24 hours you can see someone doing coding, doing like hard work.
So you
So
find
that's
more,
an interview.
Yeah, you find more devoted people, and
Exactly.
you know for sure that this person will
Yeah. So
be an asset.
it's like 24 hours of interview process where you see the hardcore developer, right? Those who are, so it's like open book exam. You use any tool, technology, or like platform or anything, but then you do your best you can, and I believe that works for us. We did like 6 hackathon last year, and we recruited like 60 plus students. But then this year we are going to do a fine tune, because we don't hesitate to take a risk. So we take a risk,
Yes.
and it was paid off, right?
Yeah.
So like, but every hackathon we learn something new. So we are always doing like fine tuning the things. This year I'm sure that just one hackathon, and we are going to finish our like 60% of recruitment process. In August, we have the biggest hackathon in India. We are going to organize that. It's on 11 on 12th of August 2025. It's already launched, and as on today we already get like say 3,000 registration. I'm expecting to have like 10,000 students, those who will going to take part, and 1,000 students we are going to call them for second round. And I'm sure that we get at least 150 to 200 students, which is based out of 1,000. So just let's say 2 days of process or like few weeks of process, like a team of like 8 people, and we will recruit like 200 students simply in like 2 days. So it's not something that we don't want to go to campus or we don't like to visit college or something like that, but we find this process more productive, faster, and getting
Efficient.
the real efficient.
Yeah. So, what about internships then? Do you hire people just for internships?
Yeah. So I consider again, like say, we do things differently. I consider internship is the time. I always used to say these things to these lines to all the interns, that try to learn lot of things in your internship time, because you are not going to get this 6 months in your life again. So do your best in these 6 months, right? Whatever students we hire or recruit through either placement or like campus previously or by hackathon, it's mandatory for them. So they have to work 6 months as an intern, and then their job placement starts. So usually, let's say we don't hire only interns, we hire directly employee. But in order to be employee at Odoo, the internship is mandatory. And of course, we pay stipend during internship, which is 20,000 per month. And our minimum package, we start with like 5 lakh for developers.
So
That's bare minimum.
okay, so do all the interns get PPOs?
Yeah,
or?
it's
Okay,
they,
so
they
it
get
is
offer
fixed.
letter. Yeah. So it's not like say, so we directly make an offer, so we send offer letter, but internship is mandatory. It's considered like that. So it's not start with internship actually. It start with employment, but internship is mandatory.
Wow.
Like that.
So Odoo really does things
Yeah,
different.
different way.
Okay. So can you tell us more about the different teams that you have in the company?
So as on today, we work on like we have a team for like everything, starting from let's say doing marketing, because I've seen I'm sure that everybody has seen lot of hoardings or billboards.
Yeah, those purple billboards
Yes.
you've seen. Those
So we have a team for like 2 people. It's exclusively working on identifying the place, then location, then negotiation, and so on. Then I'm sure that you also seen influencer talking about Odoo app and Odoo a platform. So even we closely work with them to get them on board, work with them, make a script, and then do a video with them. So we do outbound, then we do influencer, then we do a lot of road shows. So road show is it's a kind of business event where we do a target-based marketing to call the business owners in local city, and then we showcase like how Odoo can benefit to their business. So it's a real demo of solving their business problems actually. So we do that. Even we work with like lot of universities and like hackathon for example, because it's again it's beside recruitment, it's also does marketing, because people learn about Odoo and technology and platform. Even we started working with like say a lot of universities, because management universities, because those are the students who learn business process and like theoretically and so on, but they never had the practical practical things. And you know, when you do something practically, you can learn efficiently and fast.
Yes.
So even we work closely with them. For us, it's like marketing activity, but we do a social cause, like we helping universities to provide by free platform or scale up game and so on, so student can learn fast. So we have a team for marketing who does all this kind of activity. Then we generate lead, and then we have a direct sales team. So for small customer, like say, imagine like having a shop on street somewhere, and they are looking for software. So we directly implement software for them. It's just like say 1 week of job, and they start using Odoo in their production life, so like day-to-day life. So we have direct sales team. Then we also have a team to recruit partners. You know, when you have a big customer, we cannot directly work for them, because we want a dedicated and special team who understand their business process and so on. So we have a channel partner network. In India, we have like 600 partners, and across the world, we are already like 10,000 partners. So partners are nothing but like IT companies, those who are selling our product, right? Selling subscription of Odoo. So they are the one who do big implementations for such companies. So they sell subscription and do the service by themselves. So we have a team to recruit those partners and maintain those partners. So there's two different teams, like partner recruitment team and partner management team. Then we have a dedicated team to work closely with the existing customer. That is with what we call like customer success team. So usually the goal of that team is to identify where customer is having issue, or everything is going smooth, or where we can have opportunity to make a upsell, or help them to get new app implemented or something like that. So that is all about like sales, like direct, indirect, and customer success, and so on. Then we focus more on R&D, because we get continuous feedback from our like implementation team and our sales team that this feature is missing, that's what customer need, that's what like people asking for. We don't have this thing we really usable or simple, people find it more complex. So we get this kind of feedback from local market. That's something identified by PO team. So that is what we call product owner team. So product owner team, they understood the pain point, they understood difficulties, and then they design a task or design like simplicity way, or like making new feature request. That is developed by R&D team, and again we test, and then it goes for final product, and so on. And once customer is live, then we have a team for support, which actually takes care of like say after sale service.
So help them out with setting up things.
And you know, one good thing, we do 22 hours of support, but our none of the office they work for more than 8 hours. So usually support start by Hong Kong team, then so today it's Australia, then Hong Kong, then India, Dubai, then Belgium, and then USA. That's how we cover like 22 hours a day. And one more department with what we have in India, which is like offshore. So we know that across the world there are a lot of partners, but in some countries having technical people on board, it's difficult. So we say that if you have any technical challenge or requirement or getting develop something, you can pass it to us. We have a resource pool which can help you to get it developed. So we have even offshore team. Even in India we have a special team which is like migration, who help all the existing customer to migrate from like one version to another version. So whenever there is migration process, there is blockage or like something is not working, the specific team, that special people, those who are working on that kind of request, and make it work automatically.
So Odoo is very user friendly company and product.
Yeah. So user friendly, and like each department, so either it's a sales or consulting or like HR or marketing, or like every department, they know about the product. You know, most of the ERP companies, the way they sell, it's like a PowerPoint presentation. And they always say, yes, it's possible, or maybe I need to check with consultant, or maybe I will get consultant on board. That's how they make the sales actually. And usual sales cycle is like 3 to 6 months. At Odoo, our direct sales team, they are the one who directly does the demo. And it's not PPT, it's directly a demo by themselves. And they are the one who act as business advisor. So whenever there is like problem, issue or something, they directly advise to business that okay, you should do it this way, that way, or sometimes they challenge too. So everyone working at Odoo, they are master of like you can say product. They know the product, and so that's how we have consist of like all 1,000 people. They are working at different departments.
Wow. So now let's talk a bit more about Odoo and its product. How is Odoo's modular platform being used to address the diverse SME sector of India?
So usually, let's say the challenges for SME today, it's a huge, because most of the company, they don't have a right software. Imagine that if some small companies, they are using like Tally or Excel, they feel like we did a technology transformation, like digital transformation. And when you talk about software like Odoo or like business management software, they feel like okay, they're dreaming about those kind of software. They have imagination like, okay, once I have ERP in my business, everything will be automated. And that's how they want everything in their way automated and like working out of the box, or considering like that process, the process what they are doing, which is standard in their industry. So there is a lot of challenge, because first thing we have to convince them that what you are doing, which is not the standard process. Being a small company, what you have started, which is not like the process that relevant to your business process actually. So the first and foremost challenge is to convince them that you need a right process, then you need a right software like Odoo, and then we have to teach them like, okay, like the right balance between like say out of the box approach and getting customized things. So for small customer, because we started working with directly for small customer, we know that okay, how to do a right business advisory to them. So by balancing between out of the box and custom things in their business.
So how is Odoo different from Zoho and Tally? They also work in the same sector, I think.
Yes. Uh,
Like what differentiates Odoo from Zoho?
First of all, let's say Zoho, you can say it's more or less like Odoo, but there is a huge difference in terms of technology, in terms of the solution that we provide. When I talk about Odoo, you get everything on single platform, so you don't need other software. For Zoho, what I understood and what I know, that they have like each business need, it's a different software, and then you need to connect them by connectors or something like that. That's the only thing I know. And when you say Tele, yeah, most of the business in India, they always like, when you say software, they speak about accounting software, they say Tele. So that's something I agree. But when we start working with like companies like those who want to scale super fast, or the one they know the pain point of Tele, when we started working with them, they surprised that okay, this is something we were looking at. Having everything on a single platform where I can get a lot of decisions just by looking at data, or by having integrated system or something like that. That's what the real need was, because imagine accounting is not the business management software. It's just managing your book. But in order to have a business management software, you need lot of data. Like say for example, you want to launch a marketing campaign, but you don't know which platform does right job for you, because you haven't ever tracked for that. So track in the sense, like say you launch some campaign on your website, so or maybe some different social media platform. So you don't know what kind of visitor, like what are the number of visitors it brings, then what are the user that it gets converted, then what's the revenue that you have generated, what's the recurring customer that you have. You don't have such kind of analytics when you work with like say just an accounting software. But you know, when you want to scale business, people need this, and that's how we so it's matter of like say explaining the things, explaining the understanding pain point, and explaining to customer or like prospect that what you are looking for, that's impossible with different software, where we can do it out of the box in terms of Odoo. So that's how we say we are doing different, like as usual we do things different in business.
So Odoo is more user friendly, and unlike Tally, which gives solution only for accounting, Odoo gives solutions for many
Everything.
different sectors.
Yeah, everything. So imagine, say for example, on back screen you can see like we have app icon, and every icon you have different name. So it's something like say Tele we can replace with just accounting app. Then Nation we can replace with just like say knowledge app. DocuSign we have a app equivalent app which is Sign. So every business process, usually what happen, like SME, they start with one app and then they start using it. Likewise, whatever app they like, they start using it, and then they come into a complexity. Complexity is to integrating all the app to each other, because if you need the data, then you need an integration, and the pain point is to integrate all of them. Imagine that we just need one app which is like say, or one platform like Odoo, where all the app is out of the box integrated. We can replace all these applications.
So Odoo is much ahead of its competitors.
Yes, you can say.
Okay, and so whenever we hear about tech hubs in India, we always think of Bangalore or Hyderabad. So how is why did you set up Odoo over here in Gandhi?
Because I am local to Gandhinagar. I bring this company to Gandhinagar.
That's a matter of pride for Gujarat.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you do in the R&D department at Odoo?
So in R&D we do of course it's like research and development. So we do a lot of research and do development on the product platform, so framework and applications. But our major focus in like always is on the usability. How we can make application user friendly, so that people can use it like they can start using easily. Imagine that when we install any mobile application, for example, you never heard anyone saying that I have installed WhatsApp, now I have to go for training.
Yes.
Right? You never heard that. Imagine that the business management application does the same way of like onboarding. You just install, and from the screen you understand like how to use this application, or from the menu and like hierarchy and like different screens, they understand the flow of the application, because they already master in their business processes. Right, they know what they expect from the application. So just by looking at the screen, they do it by themselves. So that's our first and foremost focus, to make user friendly application. Second, we do development, like understanding demand. So whatever demand we have, we just prioritize on that. Like we did lot of things for Indian market, because we were missing that thing like GST, e-invoice, or like e-way bill, or like say GST return submission.
Oh, so you provide solutions for that.
Yes.
as well.
So imagine that you have an invoice. Just by confirming the invoice will be automatically sent to e-invoice like portal, just in one click, and you don't even know. But you put right data and it submit automatically. So even that's like, so it's technology. Like we integrate with GST portal, but at the same time it's usable. Like even the people those who don't know how to submit e-invoice data to government, it does automatically.
So from what I understand, Odoo's motto is being user friendly,
Yes.
which is really commendable. Okay, so another question I had was, how do you incorporate AI into Odoo? Like,
Yeah, people always want to have like discuss about the new technology like AI,
AI is the
machine
new
learning,
buzzword
and
right now.
But you know, first you need to understand problem. So what's the exact problem? By to solve that problem, you need to use AI. So in Odoo, there are few places we identify, and maybe more in future. But as of now, we have already integrated AI into application, where we do some kind of automation using AI. Like say, imagine that you have thousands of lead and opportunity in your pipeline. How you will identify the most potential opportunities? So with AI, we just do some data things, like based on data, we analyze the potential opportunity. So it generates the probability number just by analyzing the data on your pipeline. So for salesman, it's very easy to identify which opportunity he has to start working with first, or what's the most potential opportunity. Same way, like imagine that project or task, for example, we want to do some kind of automation, which is automatically by based on your existing data. Like this kind of task, it's always done by this user, or this kind of task is performed by like specific expert user. So if you want to set up that kind of things, so it's not predefined, but you can make a rule and like that. And as of now, we already have AI application that is going to be launched in 19, where we have like started using few automation, which we call like business automation using AI. I think backend in back we have integrated with ChatGPT or something like that.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you tell us a bit more about how Odoo is nurturing local developer talent to, strengthen its ecosystem?
So usually, let's say we don't nurture, so it's not something we find. But you know, as I said, like I started my journey with like 3 developers and 10 interns. The I think intern at that time I have hired like 2006 or 7. Today they all are running company, all 10, right? So usually how it happens, let's say initial days I have trained like lot of developers in India in my initial journey, like 2006, 7 or 8. Then the demand grows from everywhere, like US, Europe, and like every countries. So usually they understood that okay, we have a branch in India who has lot of developer at that time, because even like other countries, they don't have enough developer, even though we have a product called Tiny IP. So there were no developer in different countries actually, but in India we have like pool of developers, like 50 developers at that time. So people started approaching like our employees to start working with them, and that's how they started working for for different needs from different countries. So usually it's like that. The once people leave from us, like the ex-employee, you can say, they leave from us. Usually they start company, and they become entrepreneurs.
So they've taken inspiration from you only.
Yeah,
from
and
intern.
but the good thing is, let's say they always stay in Odoo, so they work on the same technology tools platform. I think there are 300 plus companies built only in Gujarat, which is built by ex-employees. So all the ex-employees of Odoo.
So adding to this, what can students from IIT Gandhinagar do differently, like something that others are missing out on? Any such
Yeah.
tips or advice?
So if someone is really wanted to start their business, learn technology platform, like if they really wanted to be in the Odoo ecosystem,
Yes.
learn technology and learn business, and you can start your own entrepreneurship by yourself. Those who really wanted to work with Odoo, as I said, like we do a lot of hackathons, and upcoming hackathon which is in August, take part in that, and surely if you are really hardcore developer, you will get a chance to work with us.
Okay, so with the recent boom in entrepreneurship and startups, can you give some tips or advice to students looking to follow that path?
Do it fast. So whatever you are doing, do it fast.
Hmm.
If you have new idea, if you're doing something out of the box, like different than market, do it fast before someone come with the same idea, and they execute faster than you.
Those were some really valuable insights.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now let's move on to the rapid fire round. Quick answers, no overthinking. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So, one business leader who inspires you.
Fabian.
Why?
Because I learned a lot of things from him. Imagine that if you are from business background, I'm sure that you could not learn the way he teach. The real problem and real solutions. One time I was really happy that we get a call from one of the big company. They want to become partner, and he simply said that it's okay, but let's say their processes are super complex. They take a lot of time and a lot of things, because they're like approval hierarchy or like validation hierarchy is super long. So don't be excited. I think it will take a lot of time for them to become a partner, and that was true. Even today they are not a partner. So like whenever I any things I have a confusion or something I'm not sure about it, I just simply discuss with him, and I get a clear answer because he already experienced the same thing. And I think management is something like you experience and then you guide. Today even it helped me to answer the same way to my team members. Like whenever they come with something, I able to answer quickly, and I think that's what I learned from him.
Okay. So, what is your one word mantra for business success?
Do it fast.
So, while growing up in Gandhinagar, what was your favorite thing about the city?
Calm environment, calm, like no hype, no
Peaceful life.
Yeah,
over
peaceful
here.
life.
Okay. So, one tech trend that would be super influential.
Mobile and internet.
So, that was fun. Now, let's wrap up with some advice for future entrepreneurs. So, what was your biggest learning during your teens and 20s?
Uh, the way technology evolves, the team evolves. Like the new generation that gets evolved. You know, today, like you do you the new generation, they don't need training to learn gadgets, device, or like say for example mobile phones. They are super smart. They understand like everything super fast. So imagine the way technology evolved, the generation gets evolved automatically. And what I know, what I have seen in terms of change, they don't hesitate to be direct. They speak direct, like I like this or not, or like they
are
don't
not
hesitate.
afraid to give their opinions.
Yeah, I think it is good, and something what strange for me, like 20 years before, people having patience. They they are not in like hurry for their career, or like getting paid well, or like in terms of like money or something. But the new generation, they always find like shortcuts, like how to get the shortest path to be
success.
yeah.
So what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs? Like how can they integrate Odoo services into their business?
Well, for every entrepreneur, like every type of business, we have a solution. So if you need help of us, contact Odoo. You can just create your free instance, like instance at odoo.com, and our business advisory team, they will contact back you.
Okay, so lastly, if you had to start your career all over again, would you do things differently seeing today's tech landscape?
I never think about that, because every day at Odoo I feel like okay, it just started. Like even though 20 years, I feel like okay, we just started. Like because like every day you have new challenge, every day you have new things to learn. Imagine that till I'm thinking about, let's say we grow from like 1 to 1000, but I can imagine that even we can grow to like 10,000. So still it's like say it's a challenge for me. So I never get time to think about like other things or other because I'm
What
enjoying
would
my
have been
enjoying my
your
everyday what I'm doing at Odoo.
That was truly inspiring. The way tech and entrepreneurship are evolving over here is nothing short of exciting. Thank you so much, Mantavya sir, for
Thank you.
joining us and for the valuable insights you've given us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, follow us for more insightful talks and discussions. Until next time, stay curious, stay innovative.